Hello, and welcome to Dragon Memoria. For those of you who might be wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons and Dragons. So, if this is not something you want to watch, well, there are suggestions on the right and on the left, depending on where you're watching this, and you can always go there. But if you actually want to be here, and I know that for some people, it is a matter of ethics to not be here tonight. Well, I understand, but I'm still gonna hold it against you because it's the only day that I stream. So it's not like I have several days. One day there will be, but for now it's the only one. So you're just being mean to me if you're doing that. For everyone else who is actually here, welcome and thank you. It's a pleasure to have you with us. We hope you're going to have a very pleasant evening. And thank you for being there, even though a lot of people are deciding not to be there. That's about it. As you can see, we're one player short. We haven't had any news from him, but like we said last time, he is currently in a place with extremely bad reception, so he might be late. He might not be able to join us tonight. Let's just hope, and let's start. Alright. So, last episode. Well, last episode was a little bit, let's just say, weirder than usual.
This is me now.
Okay. No. It's all right. You just have to figure out a way to always put it at the center of the screen.
Place it right there. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk, I'll just be like, yeah.
Maybe you have to figure out a different bird for during the day. So when I say night, you take the owl. When I say it's day, you take a hawk. I don't
know. I'll use this one for the daytime. There, this will be my daytime one. I don't know what it is, but you know.
That looks like an owl. Okay. So as I was saying, the last episode was a bit darker than usual. You would expect that a group fighting for the light and for good would be above torturing and gruesome killing and stuff like that, but apparently they're not.
I did no torturing. I took a bath.
Well, you were torturing his nose. No. With good smell, you know. That's always a crime.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see, we are missing one eating player, and we replaced it with another player who is sacrificing himself and has decided to eat while we're doing this. So it's just so that you don't feel this out of place, and it's not combat, so you shouldn't be hearing combat music. So at least you're not feeling too out of place. And I've just lost my train of thoughts. Okay, let's go back to what we were saying. So, the episode was a little bit darker than usual. After waking up from a power nap short rest, the party decided to go interrogate the enemy that had been wounded and taken in, and kept under medical... I don't know how to say this. They were drugged into submission. So I was trying to figure out a clever way to say this, but no. So, as soon as they were sufficiently out of it to be able to answer questions, the party decided to start answering questions. They figured out that while it's easier to make someone think you're an ally when their mind is not completely there, they also figured out it's also a bit harder to get straight answers. So they did their best to get answers, to get the important information, and once they decided that they had gathered enough information, they decided to leave right away and kill their captive. Which there was a bit of discussion on, but eventually it was left to Remy. And he at least had the decency to place an illusory bush in front of him, or rather on top of him and the victim, while the deed was done.
Insert your own cartoon violence noises here.
And just keep in mind that there's a monastery with at least 100, probably more, refugees with their kids mixed in. So, yeah, that was interesting.
We also give him a knife to defend himself.
Yeah,
so
no.
Don't worry about that.
Well, in the Middle Ages, most people knew how to use a knife, so that's nice.
No. He's referring to the fact that, attacking an unarmed, unarmed man is dishonorable. So we put a knife in his hand. Or...
Yeah, no, it's Well, let's just say that you left a lot for parents to explain to their children before leaving the monastery.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You see, kids, that man out there screaming for his life, he did something wrong, and eventually it caught up to him.
Mm-hmm. It's a good lesson to learn.
And then you hear that kid at the other end of the room go, "Ah!" Okay, so that's how the interrogation went. Audience decided to press on the need to leave immediately, as he had figured out that whatever ritual was being done was nearly complete, and there was a chance that you wouldn't be arriving in time. So, decided to leave in the middle of the night, hoping that because the enemy had attacked the monastery, the road to this temple that you were looking for, that the party was looking for, would be less guarded. And apparently, for some of it, it was. The party managed to make its way to the un-excavated part of the city. Then inside of it, because of really good rolls and a pass without trace spell, we're able to avoid combat, which in hindsight could have been very messy, as there were a lot of them. You crossed paths with a lot of people down there. But as the day was moving on, you decided to take a long rest, as there was most likely going to be increasing dangers, and you all needed to recover all of your resources before the most dangerous part of this would start. So, you all took turns to guard the Liamon's tiny hut. The first one was with Tobiyashi, who promised his creature inside of his metal ball that he would have a safe place where he could get out and figure things out, and then he handed it over to Jorg so he could watch over it, which he gave to his dog, who used it as a ball for 2 hours. And then he gave it to Audience, which, as the tradition would want it, tried to break it, open it. see what was inside, which revealed itself to be a small creature who burned him, toasted him, and got very pissed at the fact that his ball was destroyed. And then Raimi woke up. And then he took a little bit of time looking outside, making sure no one was surprising this place, all the while staring down this ball of weird energy floating above Tobiyashi, who seemed to be really pissed off. And when everyone woke up and everyone started wondering what is going on, well, Remy decided to cast a spell which would allow him to hear all sides of the conversation. Let's just resume that by saying that next time you take a long rest, if you're outside, you're going to need someone to watch over audience. And Jorg's puppy.
Also, Raimi is easily, in terms of relationships with this this particular entity, probably at the top.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, not on their shit list.
Not gonna get shocked.
And this is where we all left off, with new information gathered during the night as they heard patrol talk. And Magna, audience's battle cat, because that's really the only way you can call it, managed also to get a little bit more information during the night about where to go and what might be waiting further down the city. And this is where we all left off, with the party wondering what to do and how to make sure that they wouldn't get surprised by flying stone elemental creature, which Remy identified as being most likely gargoyles, and probably a large quantity of them. And so this is where we left off.
And all of them will be named after major landmarks in New York.
That show named Gargoyles, that cartoon.
I remember. It was one of my favorite shows.
I ever watched that one.
That was good.
Yeah. Although I was a bit disappointed at the end of the last season, but
I feel like most people didn't like that particular season, just in general, but...
it could have been okay, but... I mean, compared to a lot of what's happening now on television, I think it's just a superior show. But there were a few moments where it got slightly weird on how they decided to end an episode or the end of a season, where it just went, yeah, that's a bit weird. Okay. But hey, if you ever find it, listen to it. It's good for at least 2 seasons, and the second season is as large as 2 seasons. So it's...
Alright.
Okay. And if you ever find a place where you can buy the second season on and it's a good quality, send me a text, send me a Twitter, send me... I'd like to get it with good quality pictures. I remind you that there's a whole lot of things that you can use below the windows to contact us, send us arts, messages, emails, and where I can buy this second season. So, Alright, so you're inside of a cavern. I believe last time I said there was an eerie silence while you were walking. So let's go with the eerie silence. Huh? Suddenly it gets weird.
I think I need to go wash my car. No, I'm just
Alright, so I believe last time, audience, since he's not here tonight, most likely because he can't get good reception where he is right now, I believe he pushed for Jorg to use at least one pass without a trace spell, just so that you can easily get down the stairs, and after that, use them wisely so you can get to the temple. Only use them when you think it's gonna be dangerous or more of a chance of being seen. But that was about it for the plan. There wasn't anything more. And you see that this morning he is a bit more groggy than usual, so gonna be talking less and.
his god didn't give him good news last night. That's what happened.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, although his god wouldn't have had a lot of problems with standing by while someone is being gutted alive. Yes, everyone, he is lawful good. He just doesn't know that his god isn't. So, Jorg, Tobiyashi, Remy, audience, what are you all doing?
After calming down my my friend and putting him back into the orb.
I think we established that he didn't calm down, he got tired.
Yeah, he got tired and we put him back
more
in
specifically.
there. Yeah. So after he got calmed down and I put him back in the orb with the broken latch on it, hopefully that doesn't come to bite me in the ass. I will say I'll walk up to Jorg and Remy and I'll be like, all right, so what's our next order of business? What are we doing?
Well, we gotta get down those stairs. What did audience tell us?
You can talk to him, he's right here.
What the cat? Yeah. Audience, what did your cat see down the stairs?
I believe he saw flying creatures made of stones. And they were very vicious.
Yeah, I remember that.
Slightly sadistic.
Well, I think what he means is like
it was about
more
an
general.
hour of walking, right, after the stairs?
He turns around and starts staring deep into the eyes of his battle cat. And then after a few moments, I just hope no one's ever sent me a lawsuit because I'm saying the word battle cat and it's been used in He-Man so much.
Meanwhile, you're, like this Dragonborn locking eyes with this large cat just makes you want to start playing the Beastars theme.
Oh no. A good theme though, not gonna lie.
Yeah. And after a moment, he looks back at you and says, "It took a while. It was more when they reached when she reached the open part of the city. Because after maybe for us it's gonna be an hour and a half. You enter into a large opened area where it's the main center of the city, and it's quite large. The temple is somewhere in the center."
So I suppose I'll cast another pass without a trace, and we'll start sneaking down there.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And then the Scooby-Doo music starts playing.
All right, I'll follow behind you guys.
I don't know why.
Remy, you want to take the rear?
I think it's gonna start with Scooby-Doo and end with Doctor Who. Run! Alright, well, in that case, cast your Pass Without a Trace spell, and everyone do your stealth roll.
Sneaky.
All right. And
28. Woo.
21.
27?
27.
27 for Audience's cat. And
I rolled low. I rolled an 11 plus 10, so...
unfortunately, he has to
Is that like a-
climb down his cat while he's going down the stairs, but after that he's going to be able to go back up, which means it's phew.
Oh no.
No, thank goodness for Pass Without a Trace. 21.
Like, an audience just can't slide down the banister. Whee!
They're dwarves. It's most likely a full-size sled ramp or something like that.
Oh, so what I'm hearing then is we find an actual sled and then we ride down the stairs that way.
Yeah, because, nothing bad ever happened from sliding down the stairs. Nothing bad ever happened. It's not like I know someone who lost half their teeth while doing that. So
You just need a helmet.
Yeah.
problem is that the helmet
I
doesn't
think-
go down far enough.
I think their problem was that they didn't go
full
wee.
feet.
So because when you shout wee while you're doing it, then
Yeah.
every amount of danger that could possibly happen goes away.
Yeah.
Well,
Science is.
it depends on what you say. If you just say wee, now there's not a lot of room. If you wah, not a lot of room,
Oh.
If you say wee, you break your teeth. Your teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you just say wah, you dislocate your jaw, but you keep your mouth
And you
intact.
get a nice bite of concrete while you're at it.
Yeah. And that's and if you're lucky, you live in a city where there's harsh winters, so it's also been seasoned. I always found it funny that we put salt on sidewalks, Okay, so everyone
Marination.
roll.
Yes.
And you go down the stairs. You get out, and there doesn't seem to be anyone on the floor where you are, but you slowly start going down the stairs, and most likely Audience would be in front because he's the one that can take the most damage. I'm so sorry, I don't know why.
I would say avoid the most damage. Because
Audience
there's
falls, you all die.
it's just there is a difference between like a barbarian who can literally take more damage and
Let's just say that he is among the more beefier party members of the group. Not taking into consideration that Jorg can transform himself twice.
he certainly is a side of beef.
He actually can be beef, exactly. So I feel like this humor is getting low. All right, so you start out and nothing much is happening. No. It's pretty quiet. and you slowly start going down the stairs. You're not sure because you spent the night sleeping and your sleeping schedule is starting to be pretty messed up. But it's probably somewhere in the beginning of the afternoon.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, wait. No, observant. Okay, no, never mind. Yeah.
It's keen mind that you were hoping you had.
Keen mind. I'm forgetting the wrong thing. Wrong thing.
So
At least if we use the travel thing, we'll have a chance of not being jet lagged wherever we reappear.
Don't worry. I can always make sure that you're even more out of sync. So worse stuff is going to happen in the future. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's called rolling a 5 on the mishap for the orbs.
So you keep going down, and all you have to accompany you are your very, very soft feet, just slowly moving down. Audience in the front. Because of her observation, I'd say Magna is probably right behind him. And who's completely at the back?
I will.
Tobiashi at the end. And which means it's always Jorg and Remy which are at the center. So you're going down very discreetly, and you're confident that no one's going to hear you unless they start going up or down the stairs. And the stair keeps going down, spiraling down. Sorry, the word is slightly different in French, and it was confusing me for a moment.
Whoa. As we're going down, I use my silks to make a hood to kind of like hide my face a little more. And then I turn it to pitch black.
Okay. So strange. Well, you're the one that's behind, so not a lot of people actually see you doing
They'll see it later.
this.
Yeah, they'll see it later.
It's like Raimi senses that somebody is trying to be extra sneaky behind him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Remy, with your passive perception, it's probably at some point, just to make sure that everything's going well, you just look behind and where did that hood come from? Okay. It looks like a hood made out of silk, very soft silk. Fortunately, you're not that surprised as you have seen at least one monk who is able to do something very similar, which is your now best friend, main crush.
Wow.
Something that he could not be happier about.
Yeah. So you go down the stairs and nothing seems to be reacting to you being there. However, after going down quite a while, and I hope you all have good abs because you're starting to feel the burn after a few, maybe, 10 or 15 minutes of going down, and you notice that you've gone down several levels. Every few moments, audiences will look at Magna, and after a moment, will just signal all of you to just keep going down, keep going down.
By the way, is it getting much darker as they're going down?
Well, if you don't have anything that makes light, so basically, other than the audience's face, that's probably the only light you have, and the enemy just doesn't seem to be needing a whole lot of light, so it was already pretty dark So it's not getting darker, but beyond the shining range of audience's mace, it's getting hard to see unless you have dark vision, which I think none of you have. Do Kenku have dark vision?
No.
Okay. So.
It's like, and just like it, just knowing this fact is up, and since like Raimi does recognize they are trying to be a bit more sneaky, even with the Pass Without Tracy. At the same time, though, still, Raimi is now much closer to being middle front than he is straight up middle.
So you get audience, Magna, Remy, who suddenly started moving slightly faster and now is really staring at Magna's butt for some reason. He seems to have a very taken interest in having this privileged position. And then a step behind you see George, and maybe 2 steps behind you see Tobiyashi. After maybe 20 minutes of going down, eventually you see audience make a move suggesting to stop moving. And this is when you start, well, most likely, well, let's see. He's in front, so, no, actually. Oh, yeah, that's right. He has, he's not gonna like me. Actually, it's probably you, Remy, who hears something in front. Because, Magna is so good at hearing things, but even her is not immune to rolling it 2. So, Remy, you start noticing you hear someone talking in the distance, and it's coming from in front. And you notice that audience is looking straight in the eyes of Magna at this moment, so he's probably haven't heard it yet.
And so Raimi will hold up his taloned hands, indicating for everyone to stop.
So we have a Scooby-Doo stop.
But does Raimi have a good sense about like how far ahead these voices are coming from?
Make an actual perception roll for this.
Okay.
This is a spiral staircase, right?
Yeah.
That is going to be a 17.
Okay. It's a bit hard to tell from the sound because you're underground. There's not a lot there's not a lot of things that will absorb the sound. However, from what you can hear, you're guessing that there are probably guards in front of the door. Because you're hearing them talk quite casually and not moving. Or there's no sign of them moving. There is a difference when someone is talking while going up or down the stairs. And they don't appear to be moving. And they're having a very casual conversation. Well, casual for whatever you can find in here. But you just hear one go, and so we're going to be here until it's all finished, right? Yeah. They didn't give you how to enter the temple? No. And how long? I don't know. And what about inside? Did they solve the problem with the, No. Okay. And when they're flying, I've heard they awoken a lot of them so that they could. Is there any changes on the those entering? No. Nice chat.
Just listening on this jobber conversation.
And then, like, in front of us, it just says press X to assassinate.
So that's the kind of conversation you're hearing. You're getting that one of them is getting bored and the other one is getting bored of the other one.
The other one just wants them to shut up. The other one wants them to talk more. One has been harboring feelings for the other for the past several months and can't quite figure out how to breach the subject.
You're gonna make me feel bad for killing him now.
Well, that's the point.
Yes.
You know, what makes you think that I'm not writing down every single person that you killed so I can put it back in your face at some point during this campaign?
That's why we gotta kill the women and children. They cannot come back for us.
That is a lack of imagination.
We must wipe out the bloodline.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't feel
Exactly.
guilty if no one's left to feel bad.
So you keep repeating yourself while rocking before you fall asleep every night. So, what are you doing?
So, Raimi will at least carry himself forward a little bit just to see about the guards' positioning, essentially.
Okay, so you squeeze yourself next to Magna. Just okay. It's a big cat. And suddenly you.
I go to Jorg. I'm like, "What's going on over there?" I'm in the back. I'm like, "What's going on?"
Why aren't we moving?
Oh yeah, kid. Could we hear the guards too?
Well,
Or do we just know that we're supposed to stop?
Well, that's really up to you. You were all told to stop. You stopped. So if you made a perception roll, yeah, of course, you can make one and try to see if you actually heard something.
All right, I'll try to do it.
Yeah.
My passive perception would have heard it.
Oh, I got a nat 20 on that. So yeah, I think I heard him.
Your passive perception would have been alerted that someone was talking, but if you wanted to hear, you would have had to take a moment to really center yourself and listen.
21.
21, all right. And Jorg?
27.
27.
A natural 20.
That's the worst perception.
And so Jorg gets to be keenly aware of how awkward this conversation is.
Yeah, and also that Magna is having trouble digesting something. Every few words you hear. Tobiashi, you hear most of that conversation. There might be a few words that were spoken too softly, but 90% of that you heard.
Would I have seen why am I forgetting his name? And did I forget his name?
I don't know.
Remy. Yeah, Remy. Would I have seen him sneak off in the front or over there?
Well, since he was just in front of you, I'd say you would have seen him disappear in front because he had to squeeze a bit. Because Magna is a sort of a large creature, so she takes a lot of place while you're going down the stairs. but you would have seen him disappear in this ball of fur. So you
Okay,
really went
I'll just-
forward.
I'll keep observing behind us and make sure that nobody's coming down.
Okay. And yeah, like Remy said, Jorg, you are keenly aware of how this. You can even hear the thought process behind all of this, with the one who just answers one worded, just gives one worded answer. You can feel in his voice just how he's annoyed by this.
That's some useful information that I gleaned from such a good roll.
And you hear vibration coming from Tobiashi's belt.
You could hear giant people talking. We don't know what it is.
So, Remy, you slide in front. You haven't really done anything that would break your stealth, as you're all mostly moving in formation. So I'll allow you to keep on going with the same stealth roll. So how close are you trying to get?
He's at least trying to get like first visual. So about as close to at the very least as trying to get as close as possible to see what he's looking at as far as like where the guards are and what they're like, you know, where the the entrance / exit is.
Okay, so you keep going for a few flights of stairs, and you'd say that you have to cover maybe 15 feet before you get to where you think you're hearing this. And you do notice there's a door that leads outside, or at least outside of the stairwell that you're in. And you can just make out the side of one of those guards who seems to be leaning on the stone arch that is in front of you. The arch itself is just wide enough for, well, one dwarf, so a person and a half. Dwarf are a bit cubic in shape. So you see one of them. You don't see where the other one is. It's either a question of bad angle or because he's really not placed. They're not placed beside one another. Judging from how he is standing, you'd get the feeling that the one who is giving one worded answer is the one that looks bored and resting on the side of the archway.
Hmm. All right. Then
And the conversation keeps going. So you've seen those gargoyle before? No. But you've heard them? Yeah.
incidentally, does it seem like they're specifically the guy like the one that looks bored? Does he actually seem to be like maybe possibly looking in the direction of the guy, or does he really just kind of like doing like that lidded eye staring off in the distance?
You don't see his eyes. He's leaning on the archway. His back is leaning on it. Arm crossed, looking straight forward. Looking slightly toward toward what would be the ceiling, but not obviously like this, just like this. And you notice in his breathing this heavy sigh of no.
All right. All right, so like Raimi's going to wander back up the what was it, the 15 feet?
Yeah.
And so like basically back to the group. And then he's just gonna kind of specifically grab Tobiyashi.
So
Okay.
you squeeze back in the ball of fur, and you reappear at the end of this. Tobiyashi looking in the distance.
Yeah, I'm looking up the stairs. I'm like looking at you come from behind me. I'm just like, oh my god.
Especially since
Where'd you come from?
Tobiyashi, you're probably completely in the dark since there's a huge cat between you and
Yeah.
the light source in front. So he's almost completely in the dark, using more his ears to. Okay. Then suddenly you arrive.
Yep. Then Raimi's just going to put like a single talon in front of his beak, and then he's going to grab Tobiyashi by the arm and like and start moving back down that 15 feet.
Okay. I follow him, trying to be as quiet as possible, since I don't hear any footsteps coming from Remy. Yeah.
So you go down, Jorg, you see Remy holding Tobiyashi, getting him through the fur ball in front of you. So now you're the last one behind. There's a moment where your puppy's looking at you and you realize that you're the last ones out and you just go... Alright, so after just a half a minute, you come out the front end. That's not coming out the way that I was planning on. You come out the other end of the cat with audience looking at you sort of, hey, weren't you in the back? Who's watching the back now?
Jorg's dog. We'll be fine.
You feel a vibration.
All right.
And then essentially Raimi is going to lead him down to, obviously like as quietly as possible to like about where the spot where Raimi was before, like in that position where he's leaning on the banister and kind of has his back turned.
So you get taken to that place, that little sweet spot where you see this one guy, and now you can hear the conversation just a bit more, and you realize
there's still no light down here, right?
No, you're still within the 30 feet of Jorg, so the light from audience's mace is being muffled by the spell. So there's probably residual light from that,
okay,
but it's minimal.
All right. Okay.
And then Raimi is just going to look at Tobiyashi. He's just going to like pull out his dagger.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna point to his own neck, and
I kind of look up, like kind of wide-eyed. I'm like, what is he about to do? Is he about to kill himself? What is going on? And then I'm like, oh wait, okay, all right. So we gotta kill these people. Okay. So I was wondering, since it's dark and my how far away are they from us right now? Like how many feet?
Well, you can see them in a spiral staircase, so it's probably
Right there.
7 or 8 feet.
Okay. All right.
Because the spiral staircase keeps going down, and then there's this archway opening that's about as wide as a person and a half, and then you see one of them lazily leaning on the wall.
I check really quick to see if Remy could read lips, and I go, there too, like just with my lips and my fingers.
Raimi holds up 2 talons.
Okay. I'm like, do you know where the other one is?
Shakes his head, and kind of like a little bit below him, kind of like draws a line underneath himself.
I want to do this, but I don't know if it would alert them.
But Raimi specifically points to the one like closest to them and leaning on a wall.
Okay. All right. Okay. I start to get my wraps ready, and
And it's like Raimi. Raimi will point to himself, his knife, and the one leaning on the wall, and holds up 1 talon, and then he points to you, and then holds up 2 talons.
All right. Sounds good. All right, you take the lead. I'll go right after you. I'm not speaking this. I'm mouthing it.
So basically what it looks like is
Meanwhile, Raimi is really sad that he's not working with somebody who knows thieves can't.
I could read lips. I can't. Thieves can't.
All right. Yeah. Essentially,
what good is that gonna do you with Remy? He doesn't have lips.
It's true.
Raimi will start making his way a bit more, like basically like start creeping his way to where the one that they can see is.
Yeah, and I'm gonna kind of be behind him and try to look for the one that we can't see. See if he's on the other side of the door that we're in, like the other side of the archway.
Okay. Make a perception roll.
Ooh. 18.
18, all right. You don't see him, but 18 is enough for you to hear slow footsteps going in circle. On the other side, it gives you the feeling that the other one is pacing while he's talking to him.
Okay. All right.
So he's moving away, coming back, moving away, coming back.
With my as I kind of like hear him walking around in that direction, I'm kind of sneaking my my silk on the ground, like kind of towards that area, and I'm waiting to like leave the door, like it'll leave the doorway as soon as Remy attacks the other person, and I'm gonna ready a grapple action around his face if I see it.
Okay. Okay, so you're basically trying to position yourself on the other side of the door. Is that it? Of the arch. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're kind of like nearing the entrance, right?
Yeah.
And I guess I'd go kind of like on the other side of Remy, since he could see him from that way. I'd be looking from this way, on the opposite side.
Okay. So there is a moment where you can see him, and it's not a being on guard pacing. It's a I'm bored as heck. I'm trying to do something with my legs pacing.
Okay.
So he's basically just going in circle, and you get the impression that sometimes he sees his partner and sometimes he doesn't.
Mm-hmm. All right. I just wait for Remy to do his thing.
All right, I'm really hoping this will go specifically one way, just because it'll be funnier. But yeah, like basically, as Raimi, it's like it almost specifically as like almost specifically as like, you know, just after the board guard gives a response, Raimi is then going to take his knife and discreetly slice over the throat.
Okay.
As soon as I see that, I go for I'll walk kind of like in the doorway and grapple check the man pacing around his mouth.
Okay. So for you, Remy, it's...
So he stops talking finally.
So for you, Remy, it's a plain attack because you're trying to catch someone that's not paying attention. So it's even a surprise because you are still in the stealthed field. Sorry, of Jordan.
For some reason, my eyes have decided to get really watery. There's that one.
I activate my owl totem so we can see in the dark.
All right, so that's going to be 21 to hit.
That is enough.
Do I make a strength or a wisdom?
If you're trying to immobilize them with the silk, it's gonna be wisdom.
Okay.
Because it's the strength of the mind.
Yeah, 11.
Okay.
As soon as I see that fail, I'm gonna go in to just strike him in the side of the head with my ball. If it fails.
All right, Remy. So, what damage did you roll?
20 piercing.
20 piercing in total. Okay.
And you did pick the right person. I have really good stealth.
All right. So it's 20. Okay. So, Remy, you do your best and you arrive slowly and you try to strike at the throat. But unfortunately, just as you're attacking, you catch a moment where he goes and being very annoyed with the latest question, and because of that, the blade doesn't enter the middle of the throat and just slash in front of it. He is severely injured. There's blood pouring out, but he is not dead. And the one in front just has a moment of surprise, and because of that, he is slightly warned. And Tobiyashi, he sees your silk arriving right for him, and he just pushes it off. And
Okay, I go for an attack. I'm gonna hit him. Oh no. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. That's a 25 to hit.
Okay, that is enough to hit.
Okay. I want to, just hit him right in the temple with my ball. That is a 9 points of damage.
Hey, we have
And then
calling. Sorry.
that is 9 points of damage, and then I will use my bonus action to hit the guy who's super injured with my fist.
Okay, well, it's easy to find him as he's the one that's going.
All right, unarmed strike. Let's go.
Go ahead and give him a good kick.
13.
13 is not enough to hit. And judging from his stat, it's even just enough for him to step away. Just on the cuffs. He sees your kick coming and steps one step to the side and avoid it. You hit the wall instead.
I don't know if I should use this yet, but whatever. It's a good time. It's a good time. We can't let this get out. I'm gonna use action surge, and I'm gonna try to run and tackle and grapple the other guy that's running and cover his mouth.
The one that's been severely injured?
No, the other one that's running away at the moment, or that backed up from my no.
Yeah, no,
that didn't get grappled.
He just gave himself a good push backward.
Okay, yeah, and I'm going to go for a grapple check, not with my silks, but with my strength.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Oh. That's an 8.
An 8 is not enough. You try and move to catch them, and unfortunately, your foot gets stuck in some rock on the floor, and you almost end up doing a split while trying to move in this direction.
All right. Shit.
For some reason, you feel you can hear a spirit watching you going, "Ooh, that's gonna hurt."
God damn it.
Okay, so during this cavalcade...
I'm putting on a performance right now. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it was very pretty. You saw Tobiyashi lunge toward the first one, trying to grab him, miss him, try to punch the one that you just... try to kick the one that you just severely injured and hit the wall instead. And you can see by his reaction that he feels the kick resonating in his foot. And then he tries to move forward with an accent surge to punch the guy in front. It almost does a split trying to move toward him. It's, you can pay for those, and it's good watch.
Well, Remy's going to try and clean this up.
Hopefully, jeez.
Okay. So, by the way, did the one guy that he was already next to change his position at all? Or did they actually move, or are they just still just kind of standing there?
They didn't move away a lot. They mostly the one that he tried to attack first basically just did a backward jump. You know, those weird jump in games they give you. So he's maybe just 2 or 3 feet further away. The one that you just sliced his throat has maybe made 1 or 2 steps to the side, just so that he can see what's happening and why his throat is suddenly bleeding out and he can barely speak. So none of them have moved more than 5 feet away.
Okay, making sure. But since the other one has a much more functioning vocal cords, he's going to go for the one that isn't going to have a problem screaming, as he's going to stab at that one.
Okay.
Hopefully finishing that one off, since I believe you said that they already took damage. Right, so that's going to be 22 to hit.
That is enough. So technically, Tobiashi is right beside the other one, so you'd also get the possibility to make a sneak attack.
I think that's a. Oh, okay, go for 8.
Yeah, I made the hood a little bit long and it's kind of in my face, so um,
That's why you almost did a split. It's
yeah.
it's because the hood is in your face.
Yeah, the hood is in my face. That's why.
Okay, another 20 piercing on the other guy.
The one that Tobiashi hit first.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that one almost again. It almost kills him because he moved one step away. You're just short half an inch with your dagger to shove it completely in his heart. And you see your dagger move forward. You take it out, and you see the surprise in his eyes as he has less than 5 hit points after this attack. Just looking at this in terror.
Remy's gonna try and get the other half, well, not the other half, but the remaining sliver with another dagger strike with an 18 to hit.
That is enough.
Like, come on, I need you to love me, D4, because
come on,
this one definitely shouldn't be allowed to scream.
Yeah, because if you miss that, the next one is initiative, so there's a chance that he's gonna give the alarm.
All right, that is a 4 on a D4. Is it enough?
So you're doing 4 points of damage?
Yeah, that's all I can do. That's literally the max I can do with a dagger.
I'll have to use a key point.
With surprise in his eyes, he stepped back and looked at you, and you see this perfect moment where you can just let go of the dagger as you're hitting, and it gives you the half an inch you're missing to strike at him right between his eyes, and it is enough. He had 3 hit points left.
Okay.
I look at Remy after that, I'm like, I'm sorry.
But now you see the other one just unable to scream because of the heavy damage he got on his throat, but he is trying to move away. He is looking around, very scared, but he is turning his back toward all of you and going to try and run.
And I use my reaction to try and stab him. Well,
you have a reaction like that? What the heck?
What resembles a reaction, anyway.
Wait, so he's going out of our... Wait, he like moved 5 feet? Or, no?
No, right now he's just turning his back and preparing
he just turned his back.
to start
okay.
running.
Okay, sorry. I was confused. Okay, let me know when he does start running. then I'll roll.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Because otherwise we don't have any actions right now.
Yeah.
Okay, well then in that case, anyone who wants to participate in this special moment, roll initiative.
Okay. Oh, it's so close to being a natural 20. I rolled an 11.
Since I had such a good perception, can I roll an initiative? I can hear.
You don't know what's happening, but hey, I'm gonna roll for initiative.
Also, don't take offense to not including you,
Oh,
Jork,
crap.
but he wanted to make sure that audience was still sneaky, and I was afraid that if you moved away, that would eliminate whatever stealth he had going for him.
Yeah. I'm not actually gonna engage. I did roll a natural 20 again, and you can see it. I'm rolling on D&D Beyond.
I know, I saw it.
I'm gonna start using my dice, man.
Maybe rolled a 15.
All right. Well, technically speaking, Jorg has the initiative, but so
He's going to stay where he is.
Jorg has a moment of what's happening.
I'm
hearing
fighting.
noise.
Sounds to me like someone died. Someone was choking on probably their blood.
There's a faint smell of blood in the air. All right. Well, it looks like Remy is the next one because it's gonna be Remy, Tobiyashi, and the enemy who has rolled a 10.
Reem's gonna try and put this one out of their misery, because obviously they're suffering.
Why don't we just keep him as a pet?
All right, yeah, no, that's gonna be a 24.
That's enough.
And I'll feel really bad if this guy had a lot more health, because then that would just mean that he's suffering 2 major sources of awful damage.
He slices his Achilles tendon and then stabs him in the throat 20 times in the back.
12, 18 piercing.
Okay. Well, that is enough. You see him turn around and make his first step to running, and you just shove that dagger in his back, and you just go. Makes 1 or 2 steps, fumbles, and falls to the ground. And you start seeing blood spill.
I look at Remy, I'm like, just with my lips, I'm like, oh wait, I don't think there's anyone around. So I kind of whispered around, I'm like, you think you could teach me how to do that? Since I failed.
Raimi just looks inside of his coat, pulls out one of the daggers from his bandolier, and puts it in his hand.
Alright. Dagger, let's go.
Okay. So, after this interesting moment with a very entertaining Tobiyashi, you gather your group and make another stealth roll if you want to be stealthy while moving inside the city.
Oh, and Raimi's just gonna casually, well, not casually, but maybe sort of casually, just drag the bodies to an unseen location.
All right.
I'll help him with that. Taking the other body that I failed to grasp.
It's surprising how often players forget about bodies behind them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think about that.
I always think about it because of Hitman.
I gotta play.
I always think about it because you have to think about it. It's
Can anyone after me some guards right there now?
Right. So, Remy, you hide the body. Is there a roll we can do for that? I guess. To see how well you hid the body.
I guess it could be a perception roll to find a good place.
Sleight of hand.
I guess sleight of hand or survival.
Maybe survival. That sounds good.
I was leaning on survival
options.
because, tracking, but also making sure that other people don't manage to track you. So, yeah, sure, why not?
I'm assisting him. So,
all right, then Remy, you can do a survival check with advantage to see how well you hide those bodies.
advantage is better than my +2.
Yeah, that's right. It's your character sheet that I see right now.
Although now I'm incredibly saddened by your wisdom score.
My wisdom score, I don't know why it's in strength. I have no idea. I took stealth and religion and medicine and insight and athletics.
Right. And that's going to be a 19 survival for me.
Okay. All right. So you hide the body. It takes maybe 5 or 6 minutes to just find a good place, and you're confident that it's not going to be easy, but also you know that there's a chance because you're facing a cult based on hunting. So
But it's more about avoiding immediate detection.
then in that case,
Oh, what the heck?
I don't know. I think we just lost your camera.
What just happened? I just heard it ding and it turned off. What the hell?
Well, we can still hear you. It's just your camera
Yeah.
that just you're
Yeah,
not.
my USBs do that sometimes. I'm gonna fix it right now.
Okay. Well, that was weird. All right. Well, you're still there, so we're gonna keep on talking.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm gonna put your art in front, just so that because it's not even the Skype logo that we have, it's just a gray
Gray
background.
screen, yeah. What the heck just happened?
All right. So, you managed to hide the bodies significantly well, and then everyone else gathers up. Are you going to exit through this place or keep going down?
There we go.
Aha.
Well, I
My
guess that
front
would be.
USB stopped working.
Okay. Oh, too bad that happens.
Well, I guess like Raimi, and and it's always and just have to assume that somebody else is asking the question out loud, because Raimi can't, but Raimi would turn to Magna, an audience specifically, because
Okay.
because Magna was the one who got the intel as far as where everyone was being taken.
I would like to, before we left the bodies, I would like to take the clothes off of one and put them on.
Okay. They're humans, so it's fairly the same. It's roughly good size.
I'll change my silks too to like match the color of them and
Okay.
make it look just right.
Okay. They're rogues, so they are wearing leather. But it's a colored leather, something that looks a little bit black.
I don't check the pockets either. I just take the clothes.
Did I already put mine on?
Yes, you did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you look like a cultist druid. Now Tobiyashi looks like a rogue druid.
Oh, they're just clothes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're just clothes.
All right, making sure, because D&D has dumb rules about what happens when you wear armor you're not proficient in.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said robe, so I was just assuming they're just robes.
Roguish type. So yeah, they are wearing studded leather. So if you want to wear studded leather, that's a different thing. But
Just the robes.
You don't.
Yeah, no.
Unless you want disadvantage on all of your attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws.
If I were to wear armor, I would just do it. I'd put armor, and then I'd use my silk stuff, and then like there's this thing.
I know, actually, no, you're proficient in all of it, but just because I'm remembering that you have fighter levels.
Yeah,
that's right.
You're proficient. Just you wouldn't be able to use literally anything else. Except your fighter abilities.
Yeah. So, while Remy is hiding the bodies, Tobiyashi is changing his clothes. Oh man! So now your character arts doesn't work for a session or two. Damn it. All right, so you put on the clothes, and just as Remy finishes to hide the bodies, Tobiyashi finishes putting on the clothes, and there's something slightly damp. Oh wow, we got a whole lot of emotes here. Thank you very much for this.
No, Remy always has his signature purple coat.
Of course.
Even if he were to wear their robes, he'd put it over it so you could see the purple.
No, he minors illusion above it, so it becomes purple.
Yeah.
Like Samuel L. Jackson, he always wants something purple on him. Remy is the Kenku equivalent. So one day you're gonna be badass. So, you finish preparing, Jorg? Well, you're doing the... well, that was interesting with audience who looks at this and, it's let the rogue do their things. And let those who talk with animals talk with animals. Granted, the audience can only talk to one animal, but still. So, Remy, you turn toward audience and Magna does confirm that this is where she exited, but she did went down several flights of stairs while she was also moving in the city, so you could also try just keep going down a little, but she wouldn't be able to help you as to the exact path that she took. And she does remind the audience that, and audience reminds you that at one point she did get surprised by the gargoyle and torn into pieces. Almost literally.
So we're going back now, right? Right, we've met up with them.
They were just 15 feet up in the stairs, so
Okay.
You went back in, well, plus the 7 feet, so it's
I'll get back in position in the back and wait for us to start moving again. Kind of like observe. I'm like, Joy, you hear anything?
Nope.
Nudge, nudge.
Oh yeah, we totally took him out. It was easy. No sweat. But what are we gonna keep on moving?
Tobiyashi is so lucky that Remy can't necessarily.
But he can show.
That is true.
I hear you roll your eyes.
You should, with Remy, it's always show and tell. So yeah, George, there's a bit of confusion for you, but apparently it's the right place, and the question that has to be answered now is, are you taking the exact same path that Magna took, or are you trying to do something slightly different?
That I feel like we shouldn't take the same path, seeing as Magna got beat up.
We
by
should
a
probably
bunch
hurry
of,
up and get off the stairs.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, audience is for that. Audience even goes for they know we're here anyway, so let's keep going straight forward. Same way Magna went.
Yeah, but I guess that's the only way we know we have any information about. But it's also we know where gargoyles are. But then I guess it's also the only direction we know that we can definitely confirm there are gargoyles.
And so now you know that they know that we know that they know that we know that they know. I'd like to help you more with more audience advice. Unfortunately, I'm the dungeon master, so I can help you with as much as I can roll. And the audience seems to have his mindset on they know us anyway. Let's not split hairs.
I think it makes sense to follow in Magna's path.
So Remy thinking on it. would simply say, how would he say that? Better the shit you stepped in than the shit you haven't stepped in.
Appetizing?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's have this discussion in the room where we killed the men.
Everyone.
I start to kind of like push Jorg.
I assume everyone knows what Raimi meant. Otherwise,
yeah. Shit, where'd shit come from?
No, audience doesn't know because he rolled a 1.
Poor audience.
Unfortunately, it's on brand with him. So, but since you all seem to be insisting on not doing this conversation in the stairs, he follows what you're saying, and he assumes there's something sticky on the floor. So he's very mindful of where he's walking.
So out of the archway, what does the room look like? Like, I know I can't see the walls or anything, but what I could see.
Well, now you have audience's mace shining in the room as you enter, so there's a little bit more light. It's a very zen room, in the sense that there's nothing left really. You get the feeling that whenever that happened, whenever the city was made, when they left, a lot of anything that could have been valuable was removed. And the evacuation was probably done in a very orderly fashion because there's not a lot of broken stuff everywhere or things like that. So it's a pretty barren room, made of stone. So dwarven room made of stone. So it's still very pretty. The architectural elements of the room are impressive, but it's very barren. The floor looks like it's been there for quite a while, but also very barren, except with the huge slick of blood that goes trailing off in the shadows. The room itself is maybe 15 feet by 15 feet. It's really meant to be a room where the stairwell goes through, and there's maybe one place where someone could sit, as if, if you're waiting for someone. So it's been made so that, okay, there's a place where you can sit there. But as soon as you leave the landing where this is, you find yourself in the city. You can even see through a window. It's more of the city outside. It's most likely stairwell that were made to be a way to move between levels.
As we're sitting there discussing on which way we're gonna go, I could be like, I know what Remy said is a viable option, but I could kind of try to figure out the mapping of this area, depending on how far ago it was made. Maybe see if there's any other entrances and ways we could subside being caught by gargoyles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really just gonna like quote Brady not really being able to have a specific phrase for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is just looking amongst them, shrugs his shoulders. Just do what you do best, Raimi.
So, all right, give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go.
It's really up
I'll
to
go
you.
to.
If you want to use one use of the of this, you can.
I think it's a viable time. Um, yeah, I will go to like the corner of the room, and I'll kind of face away from them. I'll pull the scroll kind of like out of my vest that I have underneath everything, and I pull it out, and I'm going to make the. What is it? Do I have to make a history roll, or do I just use it?
Now you just use it. This is why it's limited use, because it's a guaranteed natural 20 on anything relating to history or history
All
related
right.
stuff. So
I open it from both sides, and I ask it. I'm like, what is the layout of this city?
all right, so you start going through all of the scrolls that you gathered, and intuitively you just start moving through all of the pages. And since you spent all of your life, although you know you weren't born in the Mistle Island chain, you spent all of your life in the Mistle Island chain. So it makes sense that you'd have history element from the Mistle Island chain. And it's something that usually a lot of people don't share what you find yourself in front of. This city, this what you find about this city breaks the lore that is known about the Mistle Island chain. It's believed that humans settled in this island chain 400 years ago, and they were the first. There are rumors about the elves being there first, but unless you're elven, there is no proof of that. But what you have in
I
front
can
of
only
you,
speak it.
but what you have in front of you is the history of the dwarves in these mountains. And the city that you have, the plans that you find, are the original plans of the city when it was made and what happened afterward. The city has been here for nearly 1,000 years. Dwarves settled in long ago inside of the mountains and tried to build a colony, but unfortunately their expansion was too aggressive, and at one point they found themselves in the middle of a orcish clan, and not one of the smaller ones. And this is what began the downfall of this city and everything around it, because it was a very large clan that vastly outnumbered the numbers of the dwarves that were there. And even though they did try and get some allies, they tried to reach out to the elves, which were just starting to arrive when all of this happened, and to the Dragonborn, which you now, because of this, know that their interest in this island chain was there because the dwarf reached out to them. But the clan was so massive that eventually they were forced to abandon. But they had time. And so you have this large map of the city showing a large opening right at the center of it. It's made in a natural, nearly natural geode that was inside. So the center of the city is very wide, very open. There are tall buildings that goes as high as 10 or 20-story high. The ceiling of it is made. There's still the gems from the original geode on the ceiling. So there's a way to use magic to light these gems, giving a very almost sunlight strength light inside of this place. You have the entire map in front of you of this portion of the city. you realize that you are most likely in the second bubble of the city, where it was mostly industrial people that lived there. The center of the city was more for wealthier person and for the better view, the temples which are there, and you find several one on the map. But there is one right at the center of it, right next to where the dwarf built their bunker keep. And as large as this thing is, it's obvious that it was a very well fortified place. And right beside it, there is a very large temple, once made for their for one of their divinity. So now you're most likely in the more industrial part of the city. It's still very spacious, very roomy, but the ceiling doesn't go past maybe 40 feet high. Think about Lord of the Ring when they're inside the Moria. This is as tall as the ceiling will get where you are right now, which is still very tall, but it's dwarves. Hey. You're not sure exactly where you are on the map, but judging from where there are different stairwells drawn on it, you have an idea of where you might be, but you need to go further inside the city to figure this out. The pattern of the city is fairly easy to follow. It follows a bit of a grid design. One thing you do notice is that there are several bridges built between the different buildings. So you don't have to go on the floor level. And having this map, having every floor, would allow you, with a roll, to be able to figure alternative route toward the temples. They would take longer, but it would be possible.
Mm-hmm. Does it have any information on how to light the crystals that are up, that will light it up like sun?
Well, all you need is something that has significant range. A simple light spell would easily be able to light one crystal, which would reflect on the other crystals and give you light for a while. The thing is that you need to reach it.
Mm-hmm. And is there any walkways up to those things? The crystals?
Service ways. There would be on the inner sphere. You'd have to leave the industrial district. And they're really made for maintenance. So you really need to not be to not have any fear of heights, because there's not a lot of protection should you make a wrong step. But yes, there are. And like I said, they're maintenance scaffolding made to meld into the general appearance of the ceiling. From the streets, they just look like interesting drawings and well-made architectural design. But from up close, you can easily see that there are stairs going there. The other way that you can reach that is by going to the keep. At the very center, there is one tower that stretches nearly all the way up. And this was the usual way how they would control the day and night cycle. Someone would be at the top of this tower and just light up the crystals according to what time of day they wanted to simulate.
Okay. Okay. I'll have it in my hand with the map. I'll turn around and I'll be like, I think I figured out some stuff. And I'll show them where I think we are on the map. And tell them that if we go a little bit deeper, we could find out exactly where we are. I'll explain to them almost everything that you read off. One more thing. Does it have like a layout of like a sewer system?
Dwarven sewers? Yeah, it's not roomy, and it hasn't been maintained for several hundred years.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll explain to them everything that I've learned about the ceiling, about the bridges going to the other parts of the connecting other buildings together, how we don't have to walk on the ground.
There's also one...
Explain to them about the lights.
Because this is a guaranteed natural 20. As you're talking to everyone and you're starting to show them everything, you notice a small inscription made right beside the large temple at the center of this place. It was added very, very late, as it's not the same handwriting as the one that made it originally. But there's a small marking saying, this is how you open it. 4 of 4 and 3 of 2. 3 is 4 minus 2. And 1 needs to go on for a day. I hope they haven't changed it.
So 4 of 4, 3 of 2.
4 of 4 and 3 of 2. 3 is
2.
4 minus 2. And 1 needs to go on for a day.
All right. I tell them that and point it out and see if they have any feedback for what I found. I'll just be like, don't ask how I got the map.
Raimi raised a talon
You're
as
one
if
of
about.
them, huh?
So, we could, once we figure out exactly where we are, we could use the buildings to go across, but I still don't know where the gargoyles are because they're not anywhere in this information. If we needed to light up the place, we could. I don't know how much beneficial help that would be. As for the history, I don't think that's important at the time being. That might be important for me to take back for historians, but that's if we survive.
Well, Jorgen Raimi, you would know that the garden would appreciate this very much.
The garden
Raimi
would
just continues staring at the magic
Right now.
paper.
Once we're done assessing, I would like to know all of your guys' thoughts on it, where you guys would like to go.
Would you like the
And,
15 minutes to think about this? We can go on break.
Is it already break time?
Yeah, it's...
About, yeah.
It's quite feeling.
Audience, what are you thinking?
Natural 20. That's rare. Natural 20 on the
Nice.
thinking.
Damn.
All right. So, what would audience say on a natural 20?
Let's call him in real quick.
Well, I can always try and send him a message, but I don't think he's been watching the stream.
I'll get on my phone and actually call him.
During the break.
Well, I don't mind if you think you can actually do that.
I mean, I could. I kind of want to.
You
Yeah,
kinda
I mean, we
want-
need
It's
his
a
help.
natural 20. That's what you get.
Tell him all the information that we got.
Well, let's see. If you're
still have to
confident enough, why not?
No, we don't.
Sorry? What did you say?
We don't have like a day, huh? It's already happening now, so yeah.
Yeah.
Just trying to guess what that is, but yeah. Go on. If we want to take a break, we can, and you could try to call
You
him.
can try
or
and call him,
try to
sure.
interpret what he can say.
If you're not scared that you might wake up someone because it's starting to get late.
Yeah.
It is later over there. That's a good point.
So let's do this. Let's go on the break, and if you want to try and call him, natural 20, I'll give it to you, sure. And if you can't reach him, well, I'll try and give a
Interpret.
natural 20 response.
Okay,
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, so we'll see you back in 15 minutes with maybe an authentic reaction from audience. So see you all in 15 minutes, and I'm going to take in the time, all right, and I'm going to leave you with a little bit of music. Let's go with Crackling Fire. Why not? I haven't played the Thunderstorm a lot, so let's go with the Thunderstorm. It's always fun.
Yeah, we can't hear it, but it's happening outside.
Yeah, it's right now outside. There's a storm and rain is coming down, and that's why there's that. All right, so
Yeah.
see you all back in 15 minutes.
Go get him.
Bye.
Go get him.
Hello and welcome back. I see that you haven't wrote anything in the chat since we left. It's too bad. I really enjoyed those emotes. There's a lot of life. Oh, that's the first time that I see some of those names. Cool. I'm also working on warnings for when there's new followers. I just figured out how Streamlabs works. Now I just need to find arts. So, hey, eventually there's even going to be those. Probably in something if you give bits or if you follow or subscribe. Could be fun.
We need some of the head.
Yeah. No, that's what I said. I figured out how Streamlabs work. Now I just need to find the images.
Some pizzazz.
Yeah. Something that has to do with dragons and books. Because that's what the logo is. But also, I really want Terry to be at least one of those emotes. I feel that he needs to be there. Or it needs, because we still haven't figured out if it's a he or she. But I just feel that it needs to be there. And don't worry, Tobiyashi, you're gonna learn who Terry is soon enough.
I was like, Terry. Who's Terry?
Terry with one R.
Oh, with one R. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
different then.
Totally
Okay.
has one R.
Yeah. All right.
But it's a very hard R.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay. Alright. That took me out.
Hey, you don't know what goes on in his
Navigating
mind.
some dangerous waters there.
You have
Okay.
no clue what goes on in Terry's mind. Most of the time, anyway. He just keeps staring at you. Now you know he's staring at you with a hard R. So... I'm sure you're just loving this, Remy. Alright,
Terry.
so... Unfortunately, we were not able to contact audience's soul. So we have to make do with a natural 20 coming from the Dungeon Master. So what was the question exactly?
I asked him, what do you think about this?
What he thinks about this. Well, having a different route to reach the enemy is definitely an interesting one. And if we can't keep going from building to building, there's less chance of being seen by a gargoyle. We'd basically only be exposed when we're crossing from one building to the next. So it would be less dangerous. Oh yeah, that's right. We're back in the game. There's no thunderstorm inside of this place. It's just an eerie silence.
Although incidentally, we wouldn't need to stealth anymore because the storm would do all of the obscurant forest.
And after a while, we end up with a underwater quest.
It's like, shit, guys. Nobody prepared water breathing for today.
Jorg, why?
So it would take a while to fill up. We'd have time.
Yeah, I can change into something with swim speed, so I'd be okay.
Turn into a whale. We'll be in your mouth. Let's go.
Oh, good idea.
Just don't swallow.
Cute that you think you can turn into a whale.
I'm known for swallowing.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, all right.
So, with this interesting statement, so we have audience. So, audience's opinion is that it can be an interesting way to get across the city. Just going from building to building, less chance of being seen by gargoyles flying.
So then, Raimi just living his life.
Yeah. From one nest to the other. No, I'm just saying. I'll say, yeah, that is true, and we wouldn't have to use as many of Jorg's spells as we did last time.
But it's gonna be longer. And I think we are pressed for time.
We could plan one as an escape route.
And there's always this question of how to enter the temple. They keep saying that there is a way to open the temple.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna need some time when we get there.
Assuming that the temple is a dwarven bunker, if it is.
Well, the keep feels more like something made to withstand attacks after attacks. The temple looks more like a temple. But also temples have magical defense sometimes, so.
If we move fast, I don't know. Maybe if the people that can't sneak as well move up there. No, we don't want to split ourselves. Just you and your cat go. And then I don't know. What are you guys thinking? What are the other two thinking?
Mega, the player, is thinking many things, but he has to funnel it through a Kenku.
Yeah, I mean, what does a Kenku think? Yeah, can you write it down? Here, I got a piece of paper.
Well, he can draw it down.
I guess, yeah. What time is it? About?
You'd guess that it's somewhere in the beginning of the afternoon.
Okay.
Wait, because then that would mean we have. Wait, how long do we have? That's exactly.
Well, this means that half a day was spent getting there, and the person at the temple said that at the monastery said that if you wanted to sacrifice Remy, you'd need at least a day to get there, which means you might get there too late to sacrifice him.
Uh-oh.
That's what the guy said.
Even if we do move on the ground?
Yeah.
Assuming that's what he was saying.
Well, yeah, he was a cultist, so he doesn't need to hide.
Yeah.
And that's what you get with a natural 20 with audience. Figure the rest out on your own.
Best I can say for Ramey's opinion is you'll just hear in that classic gruff voice, all right, boys, let's split the difference.
I don't want to split the party. Oh, wait, no.
Wait a minute.
That's all y'all are getting.
Split
All
the
right.
difference. So we go in the sewer. All right, let's do it.
That's a weird split, but yeah, sure.
Split the difference. All right, I'll be thinking about that.
So, audience, can your cat tell you exactly where they encountered the gargoyles so we can kind of pinpoint
From
it on
using
the
this map, and I'll show the cat the map.
Audience looks at Magna. Magna looks at the audience. Audience looks at all of you. Doesn't say a word, no.
Doesn't say a word. You got a natural 20. Get out of here.
Got a natural 1. Doesn't say anything. No, Magna said that she was chased for a while, so they keep moving. But they're mostly in the really huge geode at the center of this. So you basically have maybe a 4-hour walk in their hunting territory.
Yikes.
Another plan. Maybe if we make a distraction, they'll postpone it. Turn on all the lights. See if that works. They'd be wondering why they're on.
That's a good idea. Does anyone know anything about gargoyles? Not really my area of expertise.
I've studied them a little bit. I think Remy knew a little bit about them too.
How do they do in the light?
Would I know how they do in the light?
I don't believe they have light sensitivity, but let me check just to be sure.
They turn into stone, just like in the show.
That would have been so handy.
As far as you know, they do not have light sensitivity. They even have a dark vision.
That would just make it... Oh, they have dark vision, so we're fucked either way. Even if we did turn on the lights, they'd be able to see us. At least up to 60 feet.
Damn.
Alright, we go to plan F and we go back to... We go hold up the, what is it? Shit, the garden. I haven't been there yet, so, we might be able to find some more stuff out. No, that's a joke,
No.
that's a joke.
No, sure, why not? You take out Jorg's orb and you see that the teleportation is oscillating between yellow and red. So it's almost certain that you're going to find yourself here in the future if you do this. Good plan.
Yeah.
For some reason, you don't know why, when they take the orb out and they look at it and they see it's red, you can recognize on each of their face a sort of contortion, a bad memory of something that just keeps pulling at their guts. Get the feeling that it's not fun.
Alright. Like my master always once said, let's take the high road. It'll be safer that way. It might take more time to get up there, but we would just have to double our moving. We just have to go faster.
So you're taking the sonic route Gotta go fast, gotta go fast, gotta go fast.
Yeah. Especially over the bridges. Yeah. Exactly. What do you guys think about that? I'm mainly asking Joy because Remy can't really answer adequately. Unless I learn Thieves' Can out of nowhere.
I mean, Remy already gave his opinion.
Yeah, he already gave it a split the difference. So it will fly in the air. No, okay, wait, never mind.
Split the difference. You mean we're gonna hover all the way?
We hover.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you gonna do?
Well, I think going faster would be best.
So, in short, you have the fast route, just running across the city, but that's also the most dangerous route. You have the safe route, which is go from building to building, but it's also the longer route. It's not necessarily 100% safe, but it's safe.
Could we estimate how much time both would take if we went our fastest speed for both of them?
That would depend on the role. It just means that because of the map, you now have the possibility to make an investigation roll to try and figure out this labyrinth of corridors and of bridges and building to find a alternate route. And there's always plan C. Do something else. You have the sewers, you have the dome of this place. There are other routes, but they have the unfortunate problem of being extremely unknown.
Slow and uncertain, yeah.
You're not even sure they're slow. They're just really unknown. Yeah, sure, there's a sewer system. It hasn't been
we don't know where it opened up at. Yeah.
In several hundred years. And sure, there's a dome. There's maintenance way that would give you the ability to reach the highest part of the dome. But what do you do next?
Okay, there's also another thing. If we ever need Torane, we could just throw him in the sewer, see if he pops up. But other than that,
you can end up with Onak if you do this.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't even know if Torane.
No, wait, yeah, Onak. He said Onak. Yeah. He said Onak.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Turane is defending the monastery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we would displace him if we used it.
And remember, you are basically trying to piss off the cult as much as you can.
All right, fuck it. We'll use the building to building thing as we're trying to escape this area if shit goes to shit. If we do make it, or if we don't make it in time, that's what we'll do. If we do make it in time, we'll still use that to get away.
Sounds good.
Fuck, I really don't want to have to deal with those gargoyles, but you know.
Yeah. Navigating, we don't even know, because we could try to navigate around them, but who knows?
We could take the wall and then cut through once we get to the midway of the city, but we don't know how those are.
Yeah.
Fuck it. And you know what? I'm just gonna. All right, so we have about 4 options, right?
It's roughly 5 hours where you are. 4 hours in the completely exposed part of the city. So you basically have 1 hour of walk, roughly, in the industrial section, and then you enter the geode. And then you start hearing footsteps coming down the stairs. I mean, you hear that right now. You hear footsteps coming down the stairs.
Oh.
Almost like you guys have been deliberating a bit too long.
Yeah. Remy, why do you tell us to hurry up? Okay, we're gonna go. We leave.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right, we're just gonna take through the city. We'll know how to navigate it more if the gargoyles do come. We could probably hide. Let's go.
Yep.
All right.
We grab everyone and Scooby-Doo out of there right before they come in.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's almost on brand. You're only missing 2 women, and the problem is that the cat is not a dog. So, but everything else is there.
I mean, we have Scrappy Doo with us, so we got a little dog.
Yeah.
All right. So, as soon as you start hearing those footsteps in the staircase, you pack up and move out.
Like a wise man once said, "Let's leave it to the heart of the cards."
In Dungeons and Dragons, saying this won't necessarily help you. Which pack of cards are you referring to in Dungeons and Dragons?
Probably not the deck of many. There's another deck, but I don't remember what the name is.
Only 2? That's a lack of imagination. So you keep on going. So, are you trying to move fast, be stealthily fast? What are your intentions so that I know what roll you need to make? Exactly.
How does being stealthily fast work? We roll with disadvantage.
Stealthily fast.
That's what we did last time, right?
Well, last time you had a spell helping you.
Yeah. Wait, is mine worn off?
It lasts for an hour?
Oh, yeah. So then, yeah. All right.
Yeah, getting to this point here and all the time you spent talking, yeah, the spell's over.
All right. I guess I say we hold off on using it again until we're
At least to
near
the geode.
gargoyles. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let's just kind of
Let's go.
we shouldn't even try being stealthy, right? Just book it.
Let's just run.
All right.
Hopefully they don't see us.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to get there fast. I mean, we're running out of time at this moment.
Yeah. We gotta sacrifice Raimi.
Yeah, we got to sacrifice Remy as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Shoot, I think
We
you
need to
heard
prepare
that.
the flying spell, right?
You go outside and start walking.
I'll be swinging from building to building.
Well, for you it would be mostly possible, but less for Jorg.
Yeah.
Hold on to me like Mary Jane. Let's run.
Oh yeah.
And Remy goes with Audience on his cat. All right, yeah, that's right. Audience goes on his cat, so now it's only for him. Okay. And
I could turn it into something, and then
Okay.
we could both be male.
so you start moving
Oh,
on.
you could.
Decide now. You have someone coming down the staircase.
I'll hold off. I need to figure out what to
Go.
transform
Yeah,
into.
we're
Yeah.
leaving. We're already out of the room. We
Okay.
decided that.
Go.
So you're walking away.
Yes. Running away.
You make your best to run away as you see a group of 4 people walking outside the building where you were. You know you can't come back. And they don't seem to have seen the bodies because they don't seem to be running out or trying to give an alarm. So, you enter the city and try to find your way. Alright, so the big question is, are you sprinting, meaning no perception roll and no stealth roll? Are you just walking with a brisk pace, pace, which does allow you to make a perception roll and not a stealth roll? Or are you moving at just cautious pace, but as fast as you can, which would allow you to make perception and stealth.
I would say cautious.
Cautious.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
roll stealth, roll perception for those who are trying to look at what's happening all around.
Ooh! 24 for stealth.
Okay.
Damn.
And then for perception, we could just use my passive. I rolled a 12.
Yeah. I got an 8 stealth and 9 perception.
Just turn into an animal.
I am not.
Just turn into an animal.
Just turn into an animal. But which animal should I turn into?
Remy?
A cheetah.
What's I guess I got confused toward the end there. Are we all on our feet, or?
Apparently, you're all on your feet. Yes.
Okay.
Except audience, who is on magnet.
I thought he hopped on the cat.
Well, you can hop on the cat if you want. You're light enough.
Let's see. You know, just because they work better as a duo, it's like Raimi will maybe be doing most of the perceiving and allowing for audience and Battle Cat to move as quickly or not as quickly as they desire.
Okay, so basically, Battle Cat do stealth, you do perception.
Yeah, because like I feel like you know, if audience gets noticed, the whole thing is shebang anyway. So.
Okay.
Right. So perception will be a 22.
Okay.
Woo! Nice.
So you're very perceptive. Tobiyashi also, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
What did
It was a 12, but passive perception is 17.
Okay, no. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I'm not that.
So Remy is definitely...
I'm looking at the map while we're running.
Remy is definitely the one that is the most perceptive of the group. You're so perceptive that you realize that Jorg is just walked on something and it's stuck under his boot and it just keeps doing cling, cling, cling as he's walking. Because if I'm not mistaken, you rolled really poorly for your stealth.
Yeah, no. I rolled an 8.
So there's a piece of rock stuck under his boot and it just keeps clinking everywhere when you're walking.
I think I might switch to my dice.
And audience is fairly good on his stealth. Fortunately for the group, with a above 20 on perception, you do find yourself maybe half an hour in of this walk, arriving at an intersection, and as you're just evaluating quickly, taking out Tobiyashi's map, looking, all right, I think we're probably here because we've been walking in the straight direction, and we could only be. And then you hear someone arriving as everyone's talking. Unfortunately, with that high roll, you manage to shove everyone aside and force them to hide as you see this patrol of one druid and 4 barbarian type just walking down the street and keep on going.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you're in a higher challenge place. I haven't gave you challenges place like this intentionally. Only encounter, which what I consider a level 2 encounter. But now it's a level 2 event, meaning it's harder.
And I just think it's funny how you guys were surprised that it's like, oh wait, there's more than gargoyles in this place.
No, I was just thinking, so many barbarians with this druid. What were they talking about? No, I'm just saying.
It's a patrol. They're not talking a lot.
Yeah.
So no, it's meant to be harder. Decisions are harder. I didn't make as many contingencies for you. They're actually very placed. They're fixed. So
All right.
be careful. You could die.
Start doing the Naruto run. No, I'm kidding.
So thank you to Remy, who has heard that coming from very far away, and seeing that the group coming on rolled an 18. It was a bit of a tight moment, but Remy managed to shove you aside right as this group was passing, and judging from how druids are, this one looks pretty similar to those who attacked the monastery, so could have been an unpleasant fight. And you keep on going, and after that, you reach a moment where there is this slight anticipation, because Tobiyashi, when you're looking at the map, if you understand where you are correctly, you know that as soon as you turn the next bend, you're going to find yourself in the geode. And so you keep on walking, and you turn this bend, and you walk outside. And well, since no one has made any roll for this, I went with passive investigation. Good job, you managed it.
I have a 16.
Investigation. Yeah, and no, because of the map, it's like rolling for advantage on this, so there's a +5 to investigation for the entire group. So you manage to find yourself in this huge geode, and there is a sense of extreme awe as you enter this. There's the, oh wow, it's huge. It's easily several miles long, and you're in the middle of this geodome. There's a very, very faint amount of light coming from the street, just enough to light up some of the lower parts of the city, and some of the building has elements of light on top of them, allowing you to see further up. But the only thing that allows you to imagine what the crystals, what was left of the geode inside, are faint shimmering reflection off of the crystals that are on the roof. And as best you can tell, they are huge. A single one of them is easily the size of a house and 5 times as high. This is what is above your head as you're entering this. The dome is fairly round shape, and you can easily guess that the dwarves didn't leave it jagged as a normal geode would be. They softened the outside. They carved it out. And just as you're looking right next to you as you enter this place, you see the architectural elements of this, extremely intricate, different kinds of material. You even see elements that you think might be gems, but they're also really high up, so you'd have a lot of trouble going right next to them and figuring out, is this actually a gem or meant to look as one? But also you are in such a large dwarven city that it could really be gems.
How the hell did they reach up there? I mean,
They're dwarves. It's what they do. They excavate things. There's this
scaffolding.
There's this weird saying among dwarves. I'm sure you've heard it sometime. They sometimes say this when people talk about where they live. They say they call it a mine.
As we enter the place, I'm like, audience, did your cat make it in this far?
He looks at Magna. Magna looks at him. He looks at you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we still got to worry about them gargoyles.
And I look at her, and she looks at me.
So.
All right. Let's keep going.
You start entering the city, and immediately you notice the difference in wealth between the more industrial section, where there couldn't find anything, and probably where the wealthier and most prominent people of the city lived. You quickly notice that, oh wow, the 20 high story tower, from your perspective, that's a single home. Who the heck lived in that?
Rami has a very disappointed look on his eyes as we all have to go speeding past all of these homes.
There
could be some good loot in there.
I mean, like at first, like the first problem was the gems, or the maybe gems. That was the first major problem, as like his eyes sparkled, but then they sparkled less as they went away from the sparkles.
I'm thinking about how many books I could have found throughout the house. Maybe like a journal or two.
Who knows? You can still go inside. It's
not now. Let's go.
It's your time.
Why are you so interested in reading a 16-year-old dwarven girl's diary?
I could have some good information in it.
Wondering about how huge Johnson's rocks are.
Well, to be fair, it's not a 16 years old dwarf. It's a 50 years old dwarf, but that's the same thing.
I just imagine Remy, like he's like rubbing his hands together, looking at the crystals, and then audience just like pulls him by the neck. He's like, "Get over here, we gotta go." And we just keep on going.
It would be a moment with mixed emotion for Remy. On one side, there's the loot. On the other side, there's audience telling him to move on.
And then being manhandled by audience.
A dream nearly come true. Nearly. So, you move in this city, and even when you realize what they actually meant by all the small bridges, you all had this idea of, what a bridge is. And then you get to see those archways going between the building. And you have this moment of, yes, dwarven bridges. Upper class dwarven bridges. They're so well made, they feel like they're just extensions of the houses. You don't even see where the blocks fit. It just looks like a smooth surface, engraved with many, many embellishing elements. You keep on walking.
I wonder if they had an elevator.
Maybe you just missed it. It's a large city. Look at the map. Oh, damn, there was an elevator there. So, as you enter this very different part of the city, with now a 3D element to it. I'd like all of you to make another stealth roll and another perception roll.
Okay.
This time, Jorg will preemptively turn into a regular wolf for a
I rolled
better
19.
stealth perception.
Okay. And I believe you can be that for half of your level. You can maintain your form for
2 hours. For 2 hours.
Okay.
Which is, probably half.
All right.
Can I cast spells, or do I have to be just? I can
concentrate
on them.
You can maintain concentration while you're in shapeshifted form, but not cast. Well, not now anyway. Later on, you will be able to.
Yeah.
Much
Do you want me to use Pass Without Trace again?
Oh yeah, we said we were gonna do that when we got into the dome, huh?
Yeah.
You said you'd
yeah,
do
fine,
that to go down the stairs, and once you reach the geode, as needed.
Yeah.
We should at least take this first one. Let's see if we can make this first one, and then afterwards.
All right. I'm gonna hold off on turning into a wolf so I can use that if I need to.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna roll my stealth and perception. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very perceptive with a 21, and not very sneaky with a natural 1. So I got 3 on my stealth.
Remy assistant, no chance.
So,
Please help.
as you're all seeing this marvelous city, you all go into this stealthy moment. Audience is fairly stealthy with Magna. Unfortunately, he didn't realize that there was a low bridge and just hit his head, and that's why he's not that good at perception. But for you, Jorg, that's even worse. It's sort of like, okay, let's be stealthy and not miss anything. You turn around and wham! Slam inside a wall. Tobiyashi, what did you roll?
Swear loud.
I rolled a 19.
19 for stealth or perception?
For stealth. Oh, I forgot to roll perception.
Stealth, all right.
No, I did the same thing. But I did it for perception. I rolled a 4.
Why is everybody running into walls?
I don't know. It's sort of this moment where... And Remy, what did you roll for stealth and perception?
Well, presumably I'm still on Magno, so for perception I rolled a 24.
Okay. Well, you are a foot shorter than audience when you're sitting on something, so the low bridge doesn't hit you. You're looking around and you see them all being so stealthy. And then you see audience hitting his head. Because of that, you see Tobiyashi just looking around and go... BAM! He walks right inside an open door. And you see Jorg just going... Wham! Right inside, right on a wall.
And this is when Rami remembers that he is not traveling with his original group.
You got a nosebleed. I'm just like, oh shit.
And so yeah, everyone has his eyes in the same socket, but but Remy managed to keep aware of everything that's going on. Fortunately, Remy, you realize that although they're all as blind as bats, they are fairly stealthy right now. So you walk about and you keep moving on, and with all of...
Maybe just always painfully aware of where Jorg is at all times.
Every time he turns a road, and he keeps bumping into things.
Actually, that's probably one of those moments where like Raimi is actually using his mage hand to just preemptively guide Jorg in the correct direction.
For some reason,
just
for some reason, Jorg, you don't know why, but you feel tapping on your shoulder every once in a while. And what? And you turn just as you see this lamp just going by. Oh, okay.
Jorg's perception roll was good. He's just really noisy.
So, I don't know. You see them right after you bump into them. That's why you're so perceptive. You're bumping into everything. You know exactly what's there because you are
literally painfully aware of everything around you.
You bump you stub your toes on this huge rock and watch out! There's a rock here.
I think that's a rock.
think there's quartz in it also. Oh. And so you keep moving forward. And fortunately, with those who rolled better, the average stealth of the group is brought up a little. There is a moment where, Remy, you feel this cold sweat in your back as you hear these bat wing arriving in your direction, and you instinctively just signal audience to stop, and audience just tells everyone to stop, and you wait for a moment, and Remy and Jorg and Magna, that warns audience, hear these wings flapping away.
I jump in a bucket because my stealth is so high. I'm just...
And just as you're about to make one more step, you hear another one just... And you keep on moving, and another hour goes by without problem. You're now 3 hours away from the center of this bubble. And I would have you all make another stealth roll, because you keep on moving forward. And they are actively looking for you.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
I think we could hold on, unless you want to use it. What do you feel like doing?
Hold up. I think this time went well. Well, I mean...
We got a plan. If they spot you, you turn into a wolf and run away. Go into the sewer system. Go into the sewer system.
Oh, good idea. What the... All right, perception. I got a nat 20. Stealth. I got it. 4.
So perceptive. And stealth?
Well, total 6.
So, again, you are painfully aware of your environment as you keep stubbing your toes on things. It doesn't make any sound.
But at least...
I got a 12 for perception.
Okay. Stealth?
18.
18, okay. Remy?
At least...
Jorg is showing me up. I only have a soft 20 in perception.
It was flashed.
Well, if I'm perceptive enough, I'll cast Pass Without a Trace right when we notice someone coming. And then,
so you have this moment of clarity, this perception of everything that's happening as you're walking, and you just keep running into things, and unfortunately, you're very stealthy for a blind person. You just keep going like this in the dark.
Man, I'm using the wrong senses for my perception roll.
He's like tasting the air. He's like, yeah, gargoyle's over there. I could taste it.
Isn't that how snake do it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're like going back to when you turned into different animals, and you're just like
Trying
use
to
your
recreate.
senses.
Unfortunately, Remy
Yeah.
and, well, apparently Jorg, you have high enough perception that you realize that Magna seems to be slightly nervous, and because of that, she is paying less attention to where she's walking, and there's a few moments where you definitely hear that she's stepped on something or in something, and she nervously just pushes it away, and she seems to be giving signs that she might be cracking a bit under pressure, as her best roll was 10 for stealth.
Animal handler.
Holding us up.
I find a hat too.
holding us up as George steps on something.
Like, why would you do that? He steps on a bulb.
And so we have 2 bad stealth, but since we have so many people on the one rolling stealth, things are not going well. And as you are walking, you fortunately have a perception that is high enough that you start hearing bat wings again. And this time, they're going in your direction.
Oh, shit.
Jump to a building.
Jorg, because
Jump into
you
a building.
made such a high perception roll, and a natural 20, you think you can discern 3 distinct batwing sound coming your way. They seem to be flying between the buildings, right toward where you are.
All right. Well,
You tell us.
yeah, they're coming. Should I do it? I don't have much time to decide.
Do it.
I assume they've already seen us, but I'll
Well,
cast
judging
Pass
from the
Without
sound that you all make, they might not have seen you, but they heard you.
Where's the near? Do it, and we'll go into the nearest building.
Yep,
Hurry,
I'm
come on.
casting Pass Without Trace, and we're gonna try to get into another building.
So I had time.
All right, so you decide to
8.
Do you recast
duck on
stealth, or roll, or just add 10 to what we roll?
Just add 10.
I'd say because Jorg has to cast, you'd have to re-roll your stealth.
Yeah, to sneak inside. Okay.
Because you're breaking it for casting, but everyone else would probably just be +10. Because they don't actually. The only one who is breaking his stealth is Jorg by casting. For everyone else, you're just fuck. Let's go.
Well, I
have 28.
22.
Okay.
I have 28.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I just jump right through a window. I'm like,
and this means Magna suddenly find herself at 20 stealth. You all duck as best you can, and fortunately for all of you, gargoyles have no bonus in wisdom, so it's the dice roll, and the dice roll was 18. So with the spell, you're all just stealthy enough as you all duck inside the building to see this group of 3 gargoyles land where you all were, look around, and it's a bit odd because they really look like gargoyles made of stone, but they're actually moving. Nothing is grinding or anything, it's just like living stone. Looking about, taking a moment, starting to talk to one another in a language that you can't understand. You hear them make loud noise that can most likely be heard for several 100 feet away. And then they all fly away.
what direction?
They fly straight up, as too far for you to see when they break, but you hear the wing flaps just, and then at some point you feel like they're moving away. You think it would be toward the center of the geode, but it's really hard to make because you're inside of a building that is inside of a geode, so that's a lot of echo.
All right, let's keep moving.
Yeah, damn. I'll keep concentrating on Pass Without Trace, because why not?
We're going to continue.
Yeah.
All right. So you are going to benefit from this for a large portion of the next segment of this walk. As you're getting closer to the center of the city, with your perception, you do notice, fortunately, that there are guards also. There are gargoyles, but at one point, as you're getting to the 2-hour marks of reaching the center of the city, you notice someone walking on one of the bridge between the buildings.
Uh-oh.
So you have a Pass Without a Trace. You still have roughly 2 hours going, but now there's not only things flying, but there's things walking about.
You know what? If anything, me and you could act like we're taking these two in to get sacrificed.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, that's
So let's just keep going.
yeah. Sounds good. Should we prepare for that? If there's a big cat, it's gonna be hard to.
We'll just say that we apprehended him too.
Okay.
We're just using them to transport.
All right.
We'll say it's your cat.
So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
hearing
that
is
sounds good.
disadvantage on deception.
All right, well, in that case, if you keep on going with the same pace, sorry, I don't know why I keep saying paste instead of pace. You keep going.
You might even say just keep sticking with you.
Yeah. Audience looks at you and say, "Oh, that's what you meant." So,
There's the owl totem when you need it.
I don't know. Stealth and perception if you keep on going with the same thing. And for a large portion of that, you get the plus from the
Perception.
pass without trace spell.
I got 11 for perception.
Instead.
And I got a 17 for stealth.
Okay. Remy, stealth perception? Well, perception?
God damn it.
Plus 10, right? Wait, that's plus 10?
For a large
that's
portion of it, yes.
So I got 27.
Okay, so Remy, perception?
It's 26 perception.
Jorg, are you stabbing your foot or...
Stabbing my foot. I got a 13 perception and a 14. Stealth, which will turn into a 4 when that wears.
Oh, your perception's high, though.
Yeah, I get a plus 7.
23 perception.
Just seeing what happens if I roll a lot of stealth.
You're trying to get it out. Oh my gosh.
There's a 17.
All right, don't roll anymore.
All right, so
yeah.
you're moving on, and you feel like you're getting closer as the buildings are starting to get shorter, and you get the feeling that this is meant for people that have taller buildings to be able to see the center of the city, see the temple, to see the keep very well. But it's simply that it's going from 12-story high to 6-story high, so it's still very impressive. But as you're moving, Remy, you do notice that hey, Magna seems to have snapped out of it, with a natural 20 because of her advantage on the.
I get distracted by another hat that I find. That's why my perception isn't high.
No, it's because Magna is so stealthy that you just walk right into
In
her.
awe. Damn.
You didn't notice, but you walk right under her butt, and you have a fur hat because it's her tail just resting on your head. So, Jorg, for a large portion of it, it's not bad. But then suddenly you feel the spell ending, and then it feels like the moment it ends, you find a way to walk right in the door, or in the part of an archway that's there right in front of you. Mm-hmm. And when you slam in this, you hear a piece of rock just go, and you hear it resonate everywhere in here.
Oh no. Oh.
Let's jump into another house.
And after a moment, you start hearing wings flapping.
Uh-oh.
Remy, because of a good perception, you listen carefully and you have the feeling that this time there's 4 distinct Batwing sound coming your way.
I look for the nearest house to jump into. Check the door, see if it's unlocked.
That's why he rolled a bad roll. He goes for the first door and he didn't watch that it was unlocked. He just slammed into it.
Slams into the
So,
Hide. Hide.
all right. You go inside. You go inside the first building, and Jorg just wasn't into it, and he keeps on making noise. He enters the room and then knocks over a table as he's trying to get in, and it's a huge marble table. So he just go. Boom, boom.
Okay. I run to the back door. I'm leaving him. No. Turn to a dog and start running.
That's on the dwarves for not making a marble table stable.
It was
I'd
stable.
rather stick my toe.
You just ran into it really hard. So you're all trying to hide from gargoyles with Jorg's stealth roll of 4 now that he's no longer under the effect of pass without a trace. They're going to be there in few seconds, few rounds at most.
Okay, is there a window?
That's a building that's at least 4 floor high. So
I run upstairs.
There are windows on different levels.
All right, just making sure. Raimi, I didn't want to use. I have to use my spell slots for these, but Raimi is going to, like going outside the window and kind of like using his perception to gauge around when the gargoyles would arrive, and he's going to do 2 important things. He's going to use a spell slot to cast Silent Image of, we'll just go ahead and say it's specifically Jorg. And then at the exact same time, he is going to also combine it with Minor Illusion to make exactly the noises that they were hearing, and then have Jorg disappear into another building.
Okay.
Nice.
Make a deception roll for this.
I run upstairs, not knowing what the hell he's doing. Just thinking he's opening the windows for no reason. I run upstairs.
That's gonna be... I keep forgetting what my deception is. Oh, should be easy to calculate. Right, +5. That's going to be an 18.
Okay. So, you create the illusion outside. You create the noise. You see all of those gargoyles arriving, and then they just glide slowly toward where you are. And at that moment, you make Jorg start running toward another area. You see them notice him, and you have this moment where you look up to see where they are, and when you look back, you have this moment of, as you see your illusion clipping the side of a building and slightly disappearing, and there's this thing in your guts that just go, and you close your eyes and you hear the 4 gargoyles move off. They rolled a 17 total for their perception. The illusion and sound was just high enough for them to be fooled by it. And they turn around and you hear distant flapping, distant noise of words being said, seeing as you know the air elemental wording, you do feel like they're probably speaking earth elemental, Terran, and then they end up moving away.
Raimi lets out an inward sigh of relief. And then honestly, Jorg, this is probably the meanest look you have ever received from Raimi.
You receive a hard stare from Remy.
Thanks, Raimi. Your voice is all robot.
Yeah, your voice is breaking up. Aha, you seem to be back.
Hello? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good? Yeah? Okay. I said when I ran upstairs, what did I see in the room?
Confirmation of what was said. The city was evacuated with calm and composure. You mostly see furniture that are a part of this place that to the eyes of a very wealthy dwarves wouldn't have a lot of value. They're beautifully made. Why am I having trouble saying this now? Beautifully made, carved in a way that just is breathtaking, but you don't find anything you would be able to place inside your pocket.
Dang. Just looking for a book. Okay, I peek my head back downstairs. I'm like, what happened?
You arrive right as Remy is looking at Jorg with black eyes.
I'm just like, oh.
And you have audience just looking at all this saying, nothing happened. It was all cool.
Okay. I come back downstairs and I'm like, all right, we need to keep on going.
See, if I hadn't made that noise, Raimi wouldn't have been able to imitate it to lure them away. So it actually worked.
It's like Jorg can choose to believe that. Jorg can choose to believe that Raimi does not have a wide berth of sounds.
Can I assist Jorg with sneaking around when we go on?
Oh, this is you do it. You know, Remy, I'm gonna allow you to have heard this phrase before, as it's something that I often say. If it helps you sleep at night to think that, it's something that your dear friend, you would have heard your dear friend say on a few occasions.
If that's what helps you sleep at night, you hear in a strangely serene and more sage-like voice.
Don't worry. I don't really believe that. You're a real lifesaver.
All right, let's get going. I'm gonna help you sneak around. See, go like that. Watch out where you're stepping. See that? Don't go over there. Please.
That's a broken manhole. Don't step in there.
I'm looking at the map just to make sure. I'm like, over there? See? Okay, do not. Don't.
You look at the map and you revise your plan. It's going to take you 5 more minutes, but there's less debris, I think, there because the buildings are shorter, so there would be less thing that would have fallen over time.
Yeah, we're going to go this way now. Let's go.
All right. So, I believe this is the 2-hour marks.
Yeah, we have 2 hours left to get there.
Yeah. So, stealth roll, perception roll.
Still.
Can I assist him?
Can I get assistance?
Can he get assistance? Can I assist him?
D4. You know what?
He gets advantage on the stealth roll. Yeah, just turn into a wolf at this point.
So what did you roll,
he's
George?
doing it. He rolled a 7. After he trips on the first thing, he's like, "Fuck this."
No,
Don't be a wolf.
you see, no, this time it's different. He's paying attention and he just remembers that, oh, yeah, he has guidance. So he starts guiding himself as he walk. And you all look at him
Yeah.
saying, doesn't he realize that he has to speak the spell while doing this?
Yeah.
I got a
yeah.
16 for stealth. And then for perception...
Stealth is +4 perception.
I got a 4 for perception. As I'm trying to help Jorg around,
You become completely oblivious to what is happening around you, but you're stealthy.
yeah.
Oh shit! As a wolf, he got a natural 20, so this time he's got 24 still.
All right, I'm riding Jorg.
I'm a regular wolf.
Yeah, you cannot write.
You left out.
Damn.
Yeah, I
You
can't
couldn't
turn
have
into a
beat
dire
yourself
wolf.
up. I can't believe it.
No.
I go to try to. I'm like, can I sit on you? You're like, the fuck?
If
What
I
do you
could turn into a
mean?
giant badger, you could.
No, actually, it's
Alright,
more like
go.
you arrive and you try and sit on him, and you hear this when you try to let your weight down on him. Sorry. And Remy, what did you roll?
I only rolled an 18 perception this time.
Oh, damn. That's too bad.
Yeah. My perception was only a 13 for this one.
Yeah, as I was about to ride him, I turned my my hoodie into a hat, and I look like a cowboy. I'm just kidding.
Actually, you know what? That's probably the exact reason why your perception was so low, because you tried to ride Jorg. That your laser focus was focusing on that.
I was like, yeehaw, doggy.
All right, so you all go back into this interesting pattern. Fortunately, you realize that Magna seems really to have retaken her control of herself as she rolls a not natural 20. I believe now, Jorg, when you saw that you were having trouble, you decided to just become a wolf and rely on that. Okay. And you can stay a wolf for 2 hours. So technically, so in total, you have a 22. Is that it?
Yep.
Tobiyashi, stealth?
I had a 17.
Okay. And Remy, you are on Magna, so you share the 20.
Wait, right, 11 plus 6, 17, yeah.
Okay. So, you keep on going, and things are going pretty well. You start seeing the buildings just recede slowly, and then you start seeing this huge building right at the center, this large keep, which looks like it's capable of withstanding the apocalypse. It is so massive, but so beautifully made. And you also see this long tower going from the center of this keep right next to the highest point of this geode. You see how it was easy when you're up there to cast any little spells on the crystals so they light everything up. And then you start seeing the temple right next to the keep. This fairly intricate but very old temple. You can't make out a lot of details around it, other than the fact that there are a lot of archways, and the gate is imposing. Even an hour away, you can see it. You also see rows of pillars in front of it, and on each pillars, you're not sure what's there, but it feels like they're statues. So many statues all around it and on each pillars. And just as you see this moment of, wow, that's interesting, you hear right in front of you, behind you, hey, what's this? You there, what are you doing here? You turn around and Tobiyashi, you realize you made one more step than everyone else and enter the street. And as you turn around, you see this group of 4 barbarian-like cultists looking at you, pointing in your direction.
I look over to the rest of the group and I'm like, I mouth to Remy because I think he could read my lips, and I'm just like, move back. And I stand there and I'm like, I kind of like, at first I act like I don't notice them, and then when they call again, I'll be like, fuck. I'll be like, just trying to find my way to the temple.
Well, it's just there.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm going.
Why are you in the streets alone?
I got split up from the rest of my group. I'm kind of not good with directions.
Make a deception roll.
You guys should hide. Okay. Deception.
What are you talking about? We're already stealthed.
It's a flat roll, so
You missed it. You missed your stealth by 1. That's why you're the one that was seen.
that is a straight 16. And I still have the cloak on and everything.
Yeah, no, I'm taking that into consideration.
Okay.
There is an element of them watching you and giving you the benefit of the doubt. This is why they're not just drawing weapons and all charging you. So, one of them just looks at you and acts as if, oh, okay, that explains it. Turns around. You see another one just looking about and passing a comment. Oh, these new recruits, they're so dumb. And he starts turning around. The 2 others, however, there's 2 of them that are just looking at you, and
I'm heading to where they pointed.
one of them doesn't say anything, but the last one, the one that's the tallest, say, who exactly are you under? Which is you? Who was the master of your group?
How far away is he saying that from?
He's maybe 30 feet away.
I'll just act like I don't hear him and keep walking. I kind of just put my hands behind my head and start heading down that area.
That's annoying.
Did he say anything?
There's that one person. There's that one guy who just looks at you and says, "Hey, hold on! Get back here!"
What? I turn around. I'm like, yeah. What do you need?
Get back here now!
Yeah, no problem. I start walking towards him.
Who's your patrol leader?
We never got any names of anybody. I think it was. Oh my god.
He's getting suspicious.
Wait a minute. Okay, I'm looking through. It is. I'm a.
The DC is going higher right now.
I'm supposed to be with Solanis right now. I wasn't on patrol. I was sent to go get some information.
What kind of information? The ritual is nearly done. There's not a lot to do.
There was a rumor about a cat getting attacked by a gargoyle, and I was sent to go investigate the area with the patrol that went out that way. I never got any of the names of the patrol because I was only there to get information.
I'll allow you to make another deception roll.
That is an 18. I'm kind of just sitting there with like the thing, my cloak in front of my face and the robes on, just silently waiting for their response.
He looks at you and says, "Don't you know anything? If you go to the temple right now like this, the gargoyles are gonna tear you apart."
No, I wasn't told anything. I just got recruited.
All right, fine, get out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of like bow a little bit, and I start to run off in the direction that they pointed the temple in. Just going straight over there.
You go away, and Jorg and Remy, how far away did you go?
I would have just been lurking like where we came out.
Okay.
Well, like I'm not quite sure what you mean by that question.
Where would you have insisted the audience go with Magna?
Because so like I was on the street, and then you guys were right there. So after I voiced that to you, what you guys decided to do?
I mean, honestly, it kind of depends. Like, did it look like? Because like basically, it was just Tobiyashi and that one barbarian kind of like having that conversation, right? Or were they all still like hanging out?
They were all very close by. Two of them just turned around, thinking that it was time to go away, but the two others got suspicious, and
My armpits are sweating.
I mean, honestly, I would say that especially if there wasn't really an opportune moment to get by them unnoticed, Remy would have insisted that they stayed in obscurity until the barbarians walked off elsewhere.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. You had good perception rolls. So you see Tobiyashi starting to walk in the direction toward the temple, and you see the barbarians are staying behind, and they're looking at each other and better warn a druid about this. There's something about this guy that feels off. And
I just keep walking in the direction.
You hear them all moving away. Tobiyashi, you didn't hear that, but because Remy and Jorg, you just hid very near where all of this happened. You hear the barbarians saying this as they're moving away.
As I kind of pass the street, I'll kind of like give a glance at the side of my eye to the left, and I'm just like, you just see sweat drop, and I just keep walking towards the temple.
All right.
Yeah. But it's like as they do get closer, Remy would be sure to open his beak and repeat those exact phrase from the barbarian to Tobiyashi.
As they rejoin you, you see
so
them.
They just come from behind me. I'm just like, no. Okay, I'm just like, man, that was a close one. I thought it was barbarian meat for sure.
And then you hear Remy open his mouth, and you hear those words.
Oh shit! I think I have to walk alone, so you guys don't get caught.
Raimi just looks to the audience as the neon sign appears above the screen. Split the party. Always a good idea. Ding.
Well, I mean, if you want to keep following me, it's up to you guys.
You see mini Terry's dancing below the screen, just going.
Well, they know that there's a lone guy walking around, not a group of people walking around.
That is true. All right. We'll keep going. I'll head. What direction did they point to? Did they point right to
right toward the temple?
All right.
You started by saying that you were going to the temple and you got lost, so he pointed you to the temple.
All right. We head in that direction. I don't think we necessarily have to stealth anymore.
I'd say that audience would agree with you. Because it's on brand with him, and now you've been made, so stealth. I believe in his opinion, stealth would be less of a necessity right now.
Let's just move as fast as we can.
Yeah.
Remy, if you want to stay in the shadows following us, fucking, so you could get a sneak attack off, then do it. Let's just keep going. As I fumble my words.
Oh wait, I can't talk. Roof.
You're just wearing the robes. You're wearing the robes.
My robes.
It's a dog.
Meanwhile, Raimi,
it's a dressed dog.
And my cup boots.
Meanwhile, Raimi is just sitting there wondering how Tobiyashi knows the name of his class features.
That never happened.
All right. Well, let's end this stream with the last roll to get to the temple.
I'd assume since you snuck up on that the guy in the beginning, okay? I'll just call it a sneak attack.
All right, Jorg. Stealth. No, you said you didn't want to stealth anymore. So perception.
Oh yeah,
we're moving fast with perception.
Yeah,
as fast as we can with perception.
So perception for everyone.
Ooh. Well, as a wolf, actually, I just got 21, but still, that's pretty good.
I'm kind of shooken up right now, so I only got a 6. wait. Perception 7, 8. I got an 8.
All right, I'm back where I need to be, guys. 28 perception.
Let's go.
Ooh.
And
made up for it.
And a artificial 21, I think. I'm not sure about the stats of Magna now, but I believe it's 21. Sorry, 21 in total for Magna. So basically, you all are pretty stealthy. You start to move, not stealthy, perceptive. You look around. You're a bit nervous. You know that you've been made. You all realize also after a few minutes that Tobiyashi is showing the signs of hyper alertness. Just, is that noise? Where's that coming from? He looks at all of the building windows, everything. Something moved there, and
Randy remembers at some point being pointed out to him a person very similar to how Tobiyashi is acting, and is reminded of it's like, we call that one a squealer.
All right.
Who's squealing? Where's it at?
All right, so you move with haste, and because of that, it takes less than an hour to get there. For a good part of this, you are pretty sure that no one is seeing you, as you don't hear anything. But as you're reaching the last few moments, and you have to turn around, because you find yourself in front of a wall, you have to turn around and take a little 7-second detour to get to the temple. You hear those bat wings going right above your head, and you look up, and they just kept on going. However, as you finish this bend, and you turn around and you find yourself in front of the temple, you hear the last few moments of stone grinding and coming to a halt. You're in front of the temple, but you also realize you know that some gargoyle went before you. And in front of you, on each of these pillars, on each of the arches of this temple, you see a stone gargoyle. There are easily, that you can see, 30 gargoyles. Most likely, some of them are just statues, but you know that there's at least a few of them that are real.
Did we make up time? Like, going as fast as we could?
I took into consideration that instead of taking an hour, you took 45 minutes.
Okay. All right. That's where we end, right?
Yeah, that's where you end. That's all. Where
Don't
you
make any
all
sudden
end.
movements.
So you're all there, and you know that you've been made by these gargoyle. The sound was unmistakable. They went right past you, and you heard them landing. But they're somewhere among all of those gargoyle, and gargoyle are impossible to make out from normal stone statue gargoyle. So you don't know how many there are. You don't know where they are. All you know is that you see the temple's
Is the door
gate
in front of us?
right in front
Oh, the
of
gate.
you.
Okay.
And
Oh,
you
right,
have
right.
you have a good 100 feet to get to the gate of the temple.
Shit. I look at my map really. No.
It hasn't changed.
Is there a way to get? Is there a way to get in the sewer system from here now? Secret entrance into the temple. Something.
Well, as you look down on your map trying to figure this out, this is where the camera just slowly pans upward, and you see the screen going dark and the title appearing in the middle of the of this, to be continued.
Next time on.
I'm Draken
Actually, I was
Memorial.
kind of hoping for do 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 do.
Well, I thought about it, but I don't want to get sued for intentional property.
When we start next
Yeah,
week.
definitely.
Last time on. The team looks like they're fucked.
And so, this is where tonight's episode ends. All right. Well, to those of you who were there, thank you very much. It was very much appreciated. No one new wrote in there, but hey, it's fun to see new name. The cantrip cat. I just managed to read the name. What I'm wondering is which cantrip. So if you're there next episode, I want to know which cantrip. I really need to know. No. It's important. All right, so that concludes tonight's episode. The party managed to make its way to the temple, and hopefully will survive. But also, hopefully, audience will be there, be able to make his own decision, and this might not turn out too bad. So weird. It all ended up really exactly that. No fight without audience. It's only half a coincidence.
Jeez, if I would have rolled any lower on my persuasion, those are just straight rolls. That's
Yeah.
not even funny.
And
I
the
cannot.
worst of it is that he would have let you go, but when you describe how you left, it sort of went, no, That's gonna trigger his suspicion. You'd succeeded, but you decided to walk away too casually. And that's what re-triggered everything. Yeah. You decided to leave like this, and that's what...
No, I was new. Come on. What am I supposed to say? I'm just casually, I didn't think anything was going to happen.
All right, so thank you all for watching. If you were there, in spite of everything that's been going on with Twitch, we appreciate it very much. As this owl is showing, it's very much appreciated. It's showing you his devoted appreciation. He's gonna give bits. You'll see.
Yeah.
But he's gonna wait until I have an emote for that. So this is why it's not gonna happen now. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you had a pleasant evening. And as always, if you want to support the show, you can support the stream by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also make a donation. Support the stream by making a donation. Sorry, I skipped a line. By making a donation, becoming a Patreon, or subscribing, because that's an option right now. Or simply spreading the words, because the more of you there will be, the more fun it will be. You'll be able to talk about this with everyone. You'll be able to make fun of any mistakes we've made and misinterpretation of rule according to you, because I know I didn't make any. I'm the Dungeon Master. I never make any mistake with rule. That's the nature of Dungeons and Dragons. But you might not agree, and I respect that, as long as you stay respectful in your voicing of that opinion. But all of that fun can only happen if there's more of you, and especially more of you voicing your opinion in the chat while we're playing. So, the more of you there are, the more chance there'll be that it's going to be fun to just talk. And as always, stay safe, and especially in these strainful times we're living, stay healthy. Good night, or day, or noon.
Bye.
Yeah, no.